and bans. So, you can't see these, can you? No, you can't. That's a problem. That is a problem.
No, that's the thing.
That's the thing. It happens. It happens. So
just keep me posted. I'll write them down.
It's coming through. So Eclypsia have banned out Carthus and Sona. So similar bans to the first game. And Mouse Sports banned out Fizz and Jace. So taking away Jace from Eclypsia this time, saying no, we're not happy with that in the top lane. We're not going to allow it. And of course Fizz banned against Tabs. Zillion being banned out, so Eclypsia have used the exact same bans they used in the first game. And we're just waiting for Mouse's final ban to come through. So nothing overly unexpected here. What will Mouse ban? What are they going to take away from Eclypsia as their first pick? Is, you know, nobody used Orianna. Orianna was available, and nobody went for it, which did surprise me.
It seems like neither of these teams play Orianna. It's almost like there's about 10 people who can play Orianna in the world, and then it just gets a ban. So they may not have mastered the champion here. Like, I don't see them doing anything like a Diana ban. If I had to guess, I'd say maybe a Nunu ban, but it's probably not going to happen. I'm curious as to what they go with here.
I'd pull up that. You didn't want to see that, but now you do. I'm going to take that out. I'm going to exit that because everybody saw that.
What'd they see?
That's a problem. That's a thing. That's a team view thing. And that's why I exited team view. Because anyone with team view would be able to log into my computer there.
Oh!
It's okay because I exited it.
That's fine, and no one saw it. It's great.
Yeah. So if I move you over to here, there we go. There we go. That's better. Reset the password as well. Create a new random password. That's nice. There we go. So there we go. Nobody can see that.
Whoops.
Here it is. It's peeking onto the screen. That's because someone's sorting out the own stream while we go about it.
I see.
So I'll keep things going. But yeah, that doesn't really help you because you can't see the picks and bans either. So the first pick coming in is Skarner for Tabs. It's picked, well, it's not going to be for Tabs, but it's I'm So Fresh. It's going to be on Skarner. Skarner was banned in game 1. This time it's been picked up. And return picks is going to be Lee Sin and Shen. So Mouse Sports picking up Lee Sin and Shen once again.
Yeah, what was the last ban for Mouse?
Nunu.
Okay, so it was Nunu. That's probably a good thing for them. But Skarner, I mean, he adds the same type of perma-slow problems that if you get caught out of position at one point, they will just train you down. Skarner's probably a little bit more counterable since he does actually have to get into melee range of you in the first place to start that, unlike the mighty Nunu. So that still leaves Kuja Janna open for him because, you know, I think Kuja might be the most experienced member of Eclypsia. Just thinking back, he was... What, do you remember what team he was? Was he AAA or Fnatic? No, what was
that?
he?
Sorry? Kuja. Kuja's been across many teams. Yeah, he was AAA, he was Millennium, he was Jerome the Gretz. That is his name, in fact. He's not going to be was. That is his name. But that was his name. That was their team name in WCG, you may remember, because they'd qualified. He'd obviously set up the whole registration thing.
Right. Oh yeah. So anyway, I just wanted to touch on the fact that he's actually been around for a really
actually, I mean, a
long time.
lot of these players have. Moma has, obviously, he was in AAA as well. At the World Cyber at CBIT, he was at the World Cyber Games as well. Was he with Germany? I'm not sure if he was actually.
I don't remember.
I'm not sure if he was there for that one, but he's been around a lot of times. I mean, a lot of these players have. Dedrayan's come from SK Gaming, of course. Records played at DreamHack for the Navi Mix team. Feliox played for Fnatic. Jiwao, I'm not sure where he played. I recognise his name though. Heidel I recognise from somewhere as well. Tabs has been around for a long time as with League of Lowland Lions. Before that he was after that, sorry, he was, what are they called? What's the sister team of Lowland Lions?
Stretch, don't know.
See, this is the Benelux team, so they've got two teams, I can't remember what they're called. But the system. Anyway, picks and bans, regardless. Janna, it's going to be Skarner, Janna, and Yorick so far for Eclypsia. So Yorick on the top lane. Janna support once again. For Mouse Sports, it is Lee Sin, Shen, Leona, and Vayne. Leona, Vayne, bot lane. Wow.
Dangerous to pick Vayne this early, especially up against Janna, who's fairly potent with her poke, unless they're trying some kind of 2v1 lane or expecting a 2v1 lane, but York is one of the strongest 2v1ers, and Eclypsia is the one with him. So that Vayne feels very forced to me, because I think they're picking it into already, but we'll see if it works out for him.
And it's going to be Katarina and Corki being locked in by enemies and
Oh,
idols. So, wow, so cat mid, we saw some devastating cat mid yesterday. And the final pick for Mouz is still being awaited, but that's going to be a Corki Janna lane.
That's going to be really hard to deal with for Vayne Leona. Just no sustain versus pretty high poke. And if they do try to go in, it's another one of those that you're not going to be winning any trades early. So Vayne Leona really going to have to be a passive farm lane. But that's not usually how Leona works. Leona's very much aggressive and all in. It's just the AD doesn't really match up with them. They're going to have to lane swap around, in my opinion. And then going against York is going to be kind of difficult, but they could very well have a Shen go up against them 1v2 with the Lee Sin jungle, and then their mid pick is just going to have to go up against Katarina. Zillion worked well against Katarina, but he was banned, obviously, so yikes. What are they going to throw up against Cat?
They've got Diana selected at the moment. It's looking like, yeah, it's going to get locked in, so Mouz are going with Diana this time against the Cat. Not sure on that one. He's pretty maneuverable, I guess. Could ult your way quickly as soon as she starts to spin, you just get out of there. And
if she starts to spin, you're still going to have the Moonfall, the E ability, just to interrupt it pretty much. The vacuum will suck him in, and the channel will stop immediately.
Does that stop the channel?
It should, yeah.
We're going to get Rift Myths going here. We're going to get Jason on the case.
Yeah, any crowd control, like a silence or a stun or a displacement, all those things should stop channels. So that's actually a pretty good pickup against Katarina. I haven't seen the matchup play out specifically, but it should be okay for them in the mid lane at least.
They're the two lane comps. How do you stack it up? And you're going to have about 15 seconds before you can view it.
Yeah, really, it's just Katarina and Diana is a very aggro lane, so ganks in mid lane are actually going to be fairly important since both of them have to jump into melee range of each other to actually do anything. So either they're going to be extremely passive with each other, or if they ever try to do anything, the ganks will be right outside their front door. The 2v2 lanes or 1v2 lanes are going to be really telling to see because Corki Janna is substantially stronger than Leona Vayne. So if they end up 2v2ing against each other, they'll be at a big disadvantage. And I think they're going to be doing a lot of lane swaps. But when they do the lane swaps, having to go up against York in a 1v2 puts them at another disadvantage. So really, the laning phase is going to be very telling for Mouz. If they can get out of it, then they'll have a chance. But I think they've picked themselves into a number of counters already. We'll see if Eclypsia is able to capitalize on that stuff. And now
you should be able to view, yes. So let's have a look through. Who do you want to look at?
Let's look top left. I want to see what tabs he's got on Katarina, runes and masteries, since he's the Fizz master. He's got pretty standard AP Quints, Magic Pen, reds, armor, yellows, and MR blues. What has he got in the masteries? 21 offense, 9 defense. So pretty standard. Let's see what he's going up against in MoMA's Diana, because they swapped the Diana from teams this time, right? So 15 AP. He has the exact same runes with the exception of his no armor yellows, instead mana regen at level 18 here. And then his masteries are actually identical, also 21-9. So they're speccing that magic resist as well as veteran scars there. Both making sure to have, both of them are going to have 49 MR at level 1. So they're, the common builds for both Katarina and Diana is to stack Magic Pen. So they're trying to make it so they can't get towards 0. I'm pretty sure both of these guys are going to be building a fairly early Abyssal Scepter just so they can't spike each other out. And that's most likely going to be the builds in that way. Let's take a look, actually, at what the AD carries have done. Let's look at Hadel on the bottom left here. Rune-wise, 16 AD, 13 armor, 11 magic resist. We've seen that for a while. 19-11 masteries. That's also standard. I want to see if Vayne has done anything in particular to go up against this difficult matchup. Let's take a look at Reckles right now. His runes, not really that I can see. 15 AD, 13 armor, 12 magic resist, so super standard, and then 19-11, so he is pretty much identical to Hadel's runes and masteries. Not much going there. Let's see if anyone tried to counter build each other in top lane or to set up for 1v2. Let's look at enemies Yorick near the bottom left there. He's gone ahead and gotten health regen quints with flat AD reds, armor yellows, and Magic Resist Blues. That's a good call for him since he's sustaining already, and if he has to deal with the 2v1, he's going to need to keep his health up. Health regen Kunt's fairly underrated. Look at his masteries. He's got 921, but he's spec'd the cooldown reduction and the magic penetration instead of the attack speed, since York is generally a ranged harass bot, and he's also made sure to spec the health regen mastery in the defense tree. Just once again stacking that early game health regeneration. Let's see if we can get real quick over to Shen. We've got about 10 seconds, runes and masteries. He's went for 78 health in his quints instead of health regen. Aside from that, armor, physical damage, and Emerald 18, and his masteries, of course, are 921, exactly the same as York's. So really, not anything surprising here. The only difference amongst all the lanes was there was armor on Katarina and mana regen on Diana, and then top lane, the only difference was the health quints versus health regen quints. Aside from that, they're pretty much just mirroring each other in runes and masteries.
So as we get underway, hopefully the game client will not load, you son of a... It worked for the first one. It worked. It was there with me.
Sure did. I mean, it always works when no one's watching. But
everyone was watching. It was just you that wasn't watching. It was only
true.
You.
Yes. I apologize for that.
I even have scoreboards and everything now.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, I've got it. It also means I need to change them every time we... do to that score. I have no idea. I can't read. This is not my finest work.
So something that happened early on here is...
TV truck.
Yeah. Both of the supports have actually started with nothing but wards and potions. Only difference here is Kuja started with 2 sight wards and 2 vision wards, whereas Phalok started with 3 sight wards and 1 vision ward. There's going to be a lot of counter warding going down in the lanes. This is especially important against Leona. You don't want to give her control of any brush. So that's potentially a reason Kuja has gotten 2 vision wards. He's going to make sure that they can keep those brushes clear. Defensive formations early here. No one 5-man stacking a bush. No one actually invading each other's jungler. Seems like they're afraid of what happened last game and don't want it to happen again.
So, just seeing if, yeah, I'm going to say, like you say, very good point. They don't want to go for that whatsoever this time around. And Tabs does a little bit of dancing. And they all going to start very standard this time around. Nobody wants to get caught out by that craziness. They are looking like they're going to go for that 2v1 top lane, which you did suspect.
That's really the only choice they had. I just want to see how it turns out between Shen and York, because normally people pick York for a 2v1. It's just strange because they picked York first and then also picked a stronger lane. So they are in a sense wasting the advantage of having a stronger lane, but even then I think it should work out for them early.
So Drain picks up the blue, did not use the smite, so probably saving it for the red more than anything.
Yeah,
and
neither team used smite actually, so that's good.
Yeah, neither team, yeah. So I'm So Fresh is going to come across. He's going to find his wraiths were invaded, I feel. Yes, no, they're not. They're all there. They're all there. Cat did defend it. Didn't see where the Diana went there, but there we go. We're seeing enemies setting up in a 2v1. We are seeing Shen setting up in a 2v1. So take us through these 2v1 lanes. We discussed it, how the runes of masteries. We looked at them. How do you think they're going to size out? Leona and Vayne to start with against the Yorick in the top lane.
You can see enemies has his first point into his Eagle, and that's the one that heals him. So he stacked the health regen, he stacked the healing, and he's really just making sure that if they do get a bit of poke down onto him, he's wanting to make sure his health stays full, and he's actually being very careful. The thing you expect a lot of times in these 1v2 lanes is when the lane hits your turret, they're going to be looking to dive you. That's why you see he put the W in and actually scouted that triangle brush. Lee Sin is backing away now. He's being super careful, super cautious, does not want to get dove here, but that's why he's actually called for I'm So Fresh to come up and counter, be ready for a dive. They actually don't know that Lee's not there, but now that it's there, he's going to be able to get this experience. He's made it through the really early phase, and now he should actually be pretty strong up against Vayne and Leona here. On the other side, however, we have Shen against Corky Chen, and they haven't done much harassing or even much shoving, whereas Shen doesn't even have a point in his feint yet, so he's not able to block any of the harass. He's putting a lot into Vorpal spikes. They're not doing much to actually shut him down. Looking across, both 2v1 lanes pretty conveniently oriented right now. I'd have to give this early edge to Mouz in the sense that Vayne is farming just as well as Corki, which gives him an advantage since he's Vayne.
This is Vayne, and Vayne will snowball like crazy, and they've caught on towards Kuja there, and they've put the Ignite down. You can see the Drain coming through. Howling Gale hits through. I'm not too sure whether they're going to have enough to finish it off. You can see the Ignite now being put down. Kuja might be able to get away from this one. The Q from the Drain will not be able to follow through. He does manage to get towards Heidel. Immediately has to back away because I'm so fresh appears. They're going to try and turn this one around. That's going to be a Valkyrie coming through from Heidel. Heidel tries to put the damage down, but they do not have enough damage. The Ignites were blown on either side though. Nobody really flashing out apart from Kuja. Kuja flashed to avoid, as you'd expect. I'm So Fresh actually flashed to engage.
Yeah, and Dedrian burned his flash as well, so there was just a lot of posturing there. If the Janna Tornado didn't cut across just right to stop Dedrian from Wing to a creep, that probably would have been a dead Kuja. But because that didn't happen, and because he got so low backing away, they're getting a lot of damage down onto this turret. And JWoww doesn't really have the wave clear to get them off. He could end up losing this turret on this wave, so this could be a really good early start for the 2v1 lane on the side of Eclypsia.
Yeah, I'm So Fresh tanks up the turret for a little bit longer there, and well, they've nearly taken the turret. It's going to get down, 11 hit points left, one more shot, there we go. And the Dre now, Lee Sin has joined. He's going to try and go on towards Kuji. Should be able to get the kill, but he might be to the death. They might lose two members here for one single support. That was just a little bit too aggressive, and that backfired horribly and gives the double kill to Heidel. Along with that turret, that's a bad turnaround.
Yeah, that's almost as bad as giving up a couple kills at level 1 just overall for the game, because you've given up your jungler's buffs, you've given up the turret, and you've given up kills to the lane that's going to now be pushing the rest of the game. So the Vayne Leona lane is essentially over at this point because they're just going to take Corki Janna, shove them up top lane, make them push back Leona and Vayne, and they're going to look now for a really fast push strategy because they don't want to give Vayne any time to farm and create here. Enemies did completely fine up top. He's at 12 minion kills. Vayne did get to 48, so he is about 20 ahead of Corki, but it doesn't matter because Corki already has a phage 6 minutes into the game. They're all going to be going up there. They're going to be shoving down that next turret very quickly, and Mouz going to have to struggle to stop this. They're going to need to gank that lane and just not go so all in like they did last time. Because giving more kills in that way is just going to be a disaster.
So Tabs versus Mouma in the mid lane. We've not really had a chance to look at them, but it is Tabs that's actually out farming Morgana at the moment.
That's a pretty good job by Katarina up against Diana. I guess the early trade is just superior for Tabs. There's been no jungle ganks there, so this has been a completely isolated 1v1 lane. Tabs actually doing his best to roam up towards top. They're actually 3-man pushing it. Katarina coming around. They don't know Lee Sin is here. They're probably thinking they'd have a 2v4 advantage. They could get themselves into trouble if they die before they have vision, and there they see each other. Here they come.
Yeah, as soon as they see the Drain, they did back off though, and it's going to be Tabs going in. Pops the ultimate on the turret. Now it's going to be Stan United coming in on the Drain. The Drain's going to get dropped before Stan United was able to finish channeling, and Yorick did use the ultimate on Tabs. And Tabs' ghost will be taken down, but he's going to be able to get away from that one. Mouma comes diving in now. Mouma's going to try and finish off. They're going on to Kuja once again. Tabs cancel in the back there. Could have got away. Doesn't matter. Kuja was taken down. And honestly, they'll quite happily take that. Jungler again going down for support. It's a good trade.
Yeah, and Kuja unfortunately sent his Howling Gale off in the wrong direction, which could have saved his life, but you know, that happens in the heat of the moment when you get pulled back by Diana. Sometimes the starting point of your spell works in the wrong way. Smart cast can mess it up as well. So a good counter there, actually, by Mouz. They were in danger of losing their second turret, but they were able to see it coming, send it up there, and they actually could get the counter turret off this. So that's the recovery they really needed after the initial turret went down.
There it is. The turret goes to go down, and the gold advantage actually swings Mouz's way, so they did manage to counter out nicely in that one. Despite the fact they are 3-2 down in kills, it means that their lane farming just really on Vayne is what's tipping the scales, I think, in terms of gold. But you can see that Tabs in that mid lane is definitely out farming on Diana at the moment. I did say Morgana, didn't I, earlier on? It is Diana, of course.
Yeah, it's a common mistake, but you know, sometimes you miss up names. Oh, Kuja actually gets cut off by Leona. Should be able to just walk away here. Pink warding coming up pretty heavily by Mouz here. And I have to say, Reckles would be ahead if it wasn't for the 3 kills of Corki. And again, everyone getting sucked towards this lane. The 3-kill Corki is trying to put pressure down onto Leona and Vayne. But again, Dadrian just continuing to show up in this lane, trying to keep them safe, trying to counteract all the jungling roaming. And 3v3, another 4v3 approaching. We saw this a second ago, but last time Momo was there to counter. If they don't have it here, they got spotted by the pink ward. They could still look to tower dive or take the turret. Mouse not falling back, so they're ready for this. If they stall long enough, Momo will be up here to counterfight, and if there's a 4v4 on the turret, I have to favor Mouse.
But I'm So Fresh has got him pale this time. So he's going to see if he can go and counter anyone. They're just really doing defensive duty. Just managed to go in. That's going to be Leona's ultimate pop. Howling Gale does go across this time, and Drain gets dropped very quickly, and they do disengage quick enough before Momo manages to get involved. So they pick a hit and run kill on the turret.
And it's surprising that they initiated before Momo was ready to go in, because they knew they were down 4v3. They had an interesting mind game going on that they didn't capitalize on. If you look up into the top tri-brush, they had a pink ward, but they decided not to kill the green ward, which were maybe trying to confuse them to know that they didn't have vision of that brush, or that they may not have known that they had the 3 to 4 members there. But they didn't even take advantage of that knowledge gap and engage 3v4, which cost them a member.
Feliox's ultimate was also burned as well. Idle coming around. I didn't see actually. Was it Drain got impaled? It must have been.
Yeah.
Tim that got dropped down very quickly. He's impaled and dragged into Cat's ultimate. It's not the best place to go. I don't know the word of it. Death Lotus. Of course it is. Death Lotus from Tabs. And Tabs is really doing a fantastic job in the moment against Momo at the moment. So as it stands, Eclypsia 4-2 up. They've got that gold advantage back slightly. They are 1-0 up. Enemies down the bottom lane. He's actually taking a lot of damage, but he was trying to delay it. I'm So Fresh coming in. He hasn't got impale already though. So it's just going to be a case of getting in and getting those claws swinging away on JWoww. JWoww should be able to get just up to the ridge. Will he make it in time? No, he won't. And instead he tries to turn and maybe try and pick up a kill on enemies. Doesn't happen. I'm So Fresh picks up the kill.
Shen burned his flash and his taunt very early, and then I'm So Fresh was able to close back in on him. So they had actually another couple seconds to close out that kill, pretty much ensuring that JWoww was going to die. And that's going to be not even the most impactful kill in all honesty, because they're going to push out the lane a bit more, but they've already taken the turret in this lane, so they're not really able to super capitalize on this. The only thing that's really going to do is make it so I'm So Fresh gets more of an advantage, gets his impale charged up because he had so much time auto-attacking, he didn't need it that time, and they're probably going to look to rotate and shove top again. They've spent so much time getting that top turret down to about a third. I'd be surprised if they didn't continue to press and try to finish it off. But a ping actually goes down onto Dragon, so what do I know? Maybe they'll go for that.
What do you know? Yeah, indeed. 4-0 on Heidel at the moment. So Heidel getting fed here. He's got nearly 800 gold advantage. Wow, that Hailing Gale caught Feliox just at the right time. Completely threw his ultimate out as well. Whether he'd managed to try and go for that to start with, but that has backfired horribly. And you can already see that Tabs is heading up the north. And Stand United was burned trying to get that kill. And it has backfired again. Now I've got the ward in the tri-bush. But this time he's actually coming at the top, but there is also a ward in that top brush, so you can see Tabs is sat there. They do take the turret down, and really is on defensive duty more than anything, going aggressive. And then meanwhile they are trying to cover off this mid turret as well. They're trying to push on it. I'm So Fresh going to get a bit damaged, but JWoww will force him away. Dedrion
really has gotten all the aggression taken out of his Lee Sin. All of his ganks have really just been in response to Eclypsia's tower pushing, and he ends up actually being the one that gets killed in all these, so he is putting himself a little bit behind. I'm So Fresh actually has a 2-level advantage on him, and the aggression just continues bottom lane. Again, Dedrion responding.
This time he's responded. The Monsoon comes out, and that's going to be Kuja kicked away by Drain. Kuja will be the sacrificial lamb, saved his AD carry. Howling Gale did go out, but they're going to lose the support and gain a turret, and that is certainly a worthwhile cause. And again, Momo was not able to get involved, so Momo's not being able to roam and get involved in any of these fights at the moment. And now it's looking like the Dragon might get picked up. Oh, Heidel is still caught out of position. He's going to go for Feliox here. Don't think he realizes Drain was there. He has got Valkyrie, goes for the flash, tries to go for the kill, but the ultimate from Feliox stops it. Oh, he's going to Valkyrie across, didn't manage to land it though. It will go down, but they did pick up a Dragon, so losing an AD will stop a kill streak. He was at 4-0 though. So that gold advantage is not going to be as big as they'd like.
Yeah, that's not the best trade for them. Losing the shutdown onto Corki is pretty large, giving the kill onto Dedran, who was behind, as well as the experience swing. He was level 7 there, so when you're actually a lower level and you kill a much higher level, the experience you gain from the kill is substantially larger. So it's almost like a raid boss bonus if you kill someone who's way more experienced than you. That's going to help everyone on Mouz sneak back into the game a little bit. Even though they're down 3 turrets, even though they're down that dragon, the gold advantage only being about 2.3k, the big edge that actually is getting gained on is Tabs won that 1v1 so hard against Mouma that he was the one able to rush to other lanes. When you consider how much he's been roaming, the fact that he's still up about 26 minion kills in that mid lane really just goes to show how much he's been controlling. He's got his Abyssal Scepter already and his Sorcerer's Shoes, whereas Mouma has neither of those items, so really when they do roam to the other lanes, the damage is huge, and this is a 4-man dive coming down in bottom lane. Enemies doing his best to just get out of there. He didn't have wards necessarily, but he sensed it, and this is probably going to be a turret for Mouz. Whether or not they're counter-pushing here Eclypsia in mid lane, let's see what happens.
Yeah, you can see they got 3 men in the middle there, and I'm not too sure whether the Drain, yeah, is going to get out. Caught out, wow, just absolutely imploded. So Dragon turret going down on the bottom lane. They're going to continue on. They're going to try and push the inner, and this is almost turning into a base race. They've got a tower push at the top as well. Heidel's in there. If Heidel's going to join in, maybe they're going to respond, and they're going to back away from this one. Eclypsia, they don't want to lose too many turrets. They may well lose this inner turret in the process because they're too slow to get down there. They're going to have to push it now. They've got no choice but to go for this top turret, and you can see that it's actually Kuja's backing off. They're going to make sure they don't lose the base. They are going to take an inner, so that's an inner trading back and forth. And well, Heidel really needs to get involved. He needs to get and join that middle push. And this is a full-on base race.
They're going to kill York too.
They're going to kill York. They do get York down. There's the ultimate use. Is it going to be enough to keep him away? The Draen's actually backed off, so the full-on base race has now turned into a 3v1, and it's actually Kuja that's trying to keep them back. They may lose this inhibitor turret. This is a really good turnaround from Mousesports. Eclypsia just made the wrong call, the wrong tactical call. You can see them backing away. They're not even teleporting back. This turret is going down. That is a fact. Monsoon used, trying to keep everything back. They're going to close in. They're going to come around the backside. Impale is not up though, so they're going to go in. It's Mouma they went for. Now Moma's turned on towards it. Tabs manages to get his ultimate off. Death Lotus shreds down one. Heidel picks up another. They managed to get a second and a third, and that's a double kill for Heidel, a double kill for Tabs. That is what they needed. That's how they needed to respond.
They managed to make it back before the turret died, and they picked up the 3 kills with it, so overall the trade was still only, I think it was about 2 turrets for a turret and a half, but they picked up the 3 kills, and they're now counter-pushing as quickly as they can. Really, I'm so fresh, getting really scary. Heidel with the Trinity Force and picking up the kills. The item's starting to make an impact. That was a really smart play by Mousesports. They probably just should have fallen back before going for that final turret. Then it would have been an advantageous trade for them, but with all that happening, they're in continued trouble. They did get the Abyssal Scepter finished on at Diana. They have gotten Vayne, picking up a few more items. Getting 2-1-2 onto him is pretty strong. Let's look at the gold difference between Vayne and Corki. It's still about 1.4k, so they're not going to be able to win any of those duels. Heidel will be able to just beat down Reckles if they end up fighting each other. That's going to be a problem, especially when Vayne tries to sneak off and get more and more farm as this game progresses from mid to late. I gotta say though, this Vayne pick really needs a lot more time before it can be effective, and even if it gets there, the burst damage that comes out from Tabs and the range at which Heidel can take him down might make it almost impossible for Reckles to get involved.
Well, they're heading straight towards Baron area. Maybe they're going to try and close out the Drain in this top lane. I'm So Fresh is heading straight in there. He has got Impale already. You can see him speeding up. He might be able to catch on towards it. The Drain can safeguard away, and he does just avoid the damage, and they back off. Look at that, Kuja acting as the scout, as a mobile ward, effectively, and just putting the Howling Gale through the bush. He's got to be careful he doesn't get caught out. He was very cautious about sticking that ward in that bush, but he did manage to get it down. And now, looking like Eclypsia, I think trying to go for a split push, or they could close the count in the jungle here.
And this is a really dangerous moment here, because Corki does have those double buffs, and he's a very good person to have double buffs on. Spell damage, more the cooldowns. He actually relies a lot on that, and the more often he'll have his Gatling gun up during these fights is going to be more and more scary. They've taken down almost none of that middle turret. I'd expect them almost to peel off for the top lane and finish that turret down unless they can get some kind of pick. Really, if they spend too much time around the mid turret here, they are risking Mouz getting a good initiation on them. They're still just trying to make a power play here while they have the level XP, gold, and double buff advantage.
Yeah, they've got a big creep wave on the bottom lane. I wonder if they're going to peel off down there. It looks like that's maybe the ideal choice. I'm So Fresh is also heading that way. It is a full strength turret, and there is no ward placement there. Yeah, I'm So Fresh stopping out the creep wave as well. So, oh, they've dived though. That's going to be Feliox going in. They tried to go for Heidel. That might be a backfire though. Moma went in there as well. Moma's going to get caught out. Moma's running very low. Drain gets impaled. He gets dropped. Katarina gets a double kill for Tabs. And now Shen's going to get dropped as well. Corki picks that one up. Heidel going strong. Kuja the only one going down, but Records is going to drop to Heidel as well. And that's a double kill. Twice back and forward. And, well, that is going to be the inhibitor turret and the inhibitor to follow through. And they can pretty much take what they please. They may even rotate round and pick up that inner turret on the bottom lane as well.
They may, yeah, they actually don't have time to end because the death timers are so short. We're only 19 minutes into the game as they picked up another near ace and the turret. They're actually pushing on. They might try to take some of these base turrets. This could be exciting.
They're going to try and go for the Nexus turret. The Nexus turret's there very low already. He's only got 1900 hit points, so they can drop it pretty quick. If they can just get that one turret down, it'll be a big advantage, and that's going to be Diana going in. Wow, big kill there. Then that's going to be turning it around nicely for Mouz. They're going to get Heidel down. You saw the turret drop. Heidel's going to get taken down as well, and that's another kill streak stop there. He was on 8, 1, and 2, and they are going to clear out things, and they really need to try and push out. Are they going to rush for Baron here, Jack?
They may try it. I don't think they actually need to be that desperate. Even though they've lost their inhibitor and a base turret, they're not that far behind if they just fight smart. They need to make sure to get tabs. Dedria needs to just not necessarily be the target of all the Skarner pulls because he's not able to hop around the fights and be important. At this point, they just need to counter push down the mid lane, get some of that global gold back. That was a really good turnaround for Mouz. Eclypsia overstaying their welcome a bit, and they're diving pretty hard in here. Oh, Felix, miscommunication. He's all by himself.
Yeah, completely done in. Too deep. And he's going to get caught out. Feliox gets dropped. Moma tries to react to this one. Is it enough? Tabs is taken down very low, actually. They might be able to pick a good couple of kills up. They will. And they managed to shred them down. And, well, Eclypsia are ripped apart. And a double kill for Vayne. Vayne getting fed. That's what they need. Records picking up a good couple of kills. Taking down the super minion. They might be able to push on towards it. But Heidel returns. And I'm So Fresh is there with an impale. And he could maybe try and catch on to someone. Or will they just go down towards the dragon and just farm them out? Good turnaround in that fight, though, by Mouse Sports.
Just a lot of people getting overzealous at turrets, and these fights are very, very swingy. That turn when Moma actually got the perfect interrupt onto Tabs' ultimate, and they were able to take Katarina down before she got any of her resets to clean up fights. That was the first shutdown they got onto Tabs, so that was a good gold spree there. The double kill that came down under Reckles is going to be very impactful as he's moving towards bigger and better items. Once he gets his Phantom Dancer, that's really when Vayne starts kicking off. That's the old double if Vayne build where you rush the Bloodthirster and then go into the Phantom Dancer, which is slightly different than the one we saw BB doing in the World Finals, which was a Phantom Dancer rush. Which one is better is a point of much contention, but now the Dragon is up. The inhibitor is still down for Mouse, so they need people to deal with this, and they're chasing down onto Reckles. Here's the flash. He might get impaled. Oh,
no, good condemn, and another stun as well from Leona there, managing to keep him away, so the impale's still not used, but that's an ultimate used already, and that's an important ultimate to try and prevent them, and they're going to turn this into a Baron attempt.
So they have the middle inhibitor down, and there's no vision for Eclypsia in this area. They have not been out of their base for quite a while, so they know there's not wards there, and they actually catch Felix with the impale. Yeah,
Felix is going to get dropped very quickly. And they knew that someone was going to react to that just for the fact that that Oracle made itself pay there. They saw the ward, and now they're going to work their way in towards it. You can see there's a ward at the back of the Baron pit, and Heidel's going to get in there. As soon as Kuja goes in, they're just going to clear that one out. Spot it, no problem, clears it out. Question is the Drain feeling ballsy? Is he going to go for it?
He's going to try it. It's going to be incredibly tough. They see him with the ward. They could very well just poke him over the wall, and he's going to be really trouble. Oh my goodness, they take him low. He might not even be able to get in here with how much damage they're doing.
Oh, and Tabs comes up, actually get ultimate kicked away, but the Drain now is on nothing, and Tabs actually got the Yorick ultimate used on him, and that's just going to keep them at bay. The Baron, sorry, I haven't got it selected, have I? It is on 1300 hit points, almost down though. The Drain's going to come back, here he goes in, but he just gets mown down by Heidel, and Heidel now going very aggressive actually. Immediately, actually goes straight in, almost Chinese style like IG. Picks up the double kill. Reckles is going to get taken down. Tab, sorry, picking up that one. I'm So Fresh gets another. And there's Heidel picking up his triple kill. And that is surely going to be all she wrote for Mouse Sports. It is going to be Eclypsia heading in that top lane. Records has already left the game. They are going to surrender, and Eclypsia are going to Paris. Mouse Sports being taken out of this one. They're going straight for the Nexus turret. No surrender vote coming through. Eclypsia are just going to clean this one out. And Jap, that's an impressive performance from Eclypsia. They're going to be playing SK Gaming in the semi-finals in Paris.
And you could almost see that from the picks and bans there. Mouse Sports picked themselves into a couple of fairly distinct counters. The lanes really played out in a big advantage for Eclypsia. They took the first turret at 5 minutes,